abusua emu ene empo yamanyosem emu ensem ebi ena enwume yakabo no a yede eba besmo na ensem no de beto dwa no ebi ene se osofo hwe ye homasua honsam so ede aba sesese yi ede nyame adom ptie wo mo esan ede aba school sakodo no emu
Mampani John Dramani Mahama Piemu ewo ATF UN General Assembly meeting ase na wode nsem pina na atodwa ewo hono
ye robeko ensem foforo emu na foto akọ ede ama wofo se yenyai se yede ye ma ekwakoye adwuma bi ani se yede wo mo eye ti se de poto kasam ye kan de se child labor wo mo se ye hankoda no empo ene wo mo adesua
committee ya wo mo da Ghana Medical Trust Fund no awuram Konfanochi Teaching Hospital akobo nto wo hono ahwe eniam ahodo a ehia wo mo
Harishwamba ensomwe ebi eka we ho amanone ne nyina ena yaka boma ya kenka dia mo se Paramount News Great Commission TV so asidan confirm ma ena guard oso wonya posi bi pause ye beboa ebeyi enumka bia e wo honom dodomu honom no enoma bia betra honom ne nyina obeyi ede efi honom hola Saviour Health Center ewrade ene ayaresafo enyimra wonya bi na wonom a ebeboa papa Victory Garlic so se begibie na nonom na wapomode NCP na NCTA go same travel and tour yama kwentio no aye easy aye kama pa oba ye beboa bebibia pese odi akwentio no ekono yeso yaye krado se yebetimi na yaboa enweko ahodo bi eka ho a sara so na empo no adehya no mo makabom enwumrei wo mo epo ye chidom kama Eden Hills womunyina eka ho ebi ya agibre ede ensam ebro eyeme na nekua atweba acha mene
omahene Kofi Asempa busan na ye ho na fe nsam nchemu nyina yemfa ema mo Examnase Eddie Free Mampani John Dramani Mahama Nasye na United Nations General Assembly ekoswe eye de etoso ediwotwe ya ekoso ewo New York abrochimano emu na Mampani John Dramani Mahama kopie mu hono a wagina simpi na paso ya wokasa na bra wokasa na oditudwa wo kire se wohwe ewiase amanaman nyina edwumadie ya yedie na kama yese Africa ha se yi se woba ye boapa ama dwumadie ahodo nyina koso eba nuanesem a ne nyina afiri abibirem ha seyie eba ahoden ye de ye adwuma nso ne nyina afiri hanom na wose enhwemu adadi pefe a kire se ye bekwa akokoduru afimpinu ene aduenum mekire 2050 no na wo hwe Africa ha seyie a ye ndodo ye population no anyini ohamu nchichemu aduenu enum enye no nko se akoba ne saa ebeboa ama emabunu ahodo a wo mo ewo mfirihia ne dunum edekosi aduenu nan no wo mo atimi anyini akonanimu yie papa wei ayade ebeboa pa ya wo kire se wo hwe ewiase amanama nyina daache nyina efri Africa ha sei nti hia se African so ye kansem ahodo wiase amanama nyina ye di African so eka ho bi.
Well, in the past, the majority of the 54 nations that now comprise Africa were never offered a seat at the table where plans for a new world order were being drawn. But, Madam President, as fate would have it, the tables are turning, and Africa's role in the authorship of whatever is yet to come for this world is going to be huge, and it will be consequential. According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. Additionally, by 2050, 1/3 of all young people aged between 15 to 24 will be residing on the African continent. So you see, the future of this world is African. Allow me to say this once again a little louder for those of you in the back. The future is African. Already today, Africa is a catalyst for human potential and development, as well as for economic reform and ecological stability. Africa is a catalyst for systemic change. If this reality, which is fact-based and straightforward, seems provocative or unsettling, perhaps it's because you are viewing it through the lens of centuries of filters, colonialism and imperialism, and the resulting implicit bias. Maybe you are unaware of the resilience of African nations or their remarkable ability to make a strong comeback just when you think it's safe to count them out. That is what is happening right now in my own country, Ghana.
Henra hena NPP amanyoko no womo eyesem twefo ehyiemu na ehyiemudie yi ase opanipa ogina womo anemo ekasa ye eye honorable Samuel Abujinapo enkane no na wono ena ehwe Ghana nsase ene emu nepa eso ni nyina no eye adehye no mo ebia mampeni Donald Trump wabo womo se empo womo kratasam enkoyie enti oman bia womo efiri mu no womo kokonom nenam so ama Ghana eye foreign minister for eye okujeto ablakwa wajibi mo ewo Ghana hanom wo mo kire mu ana ewo senkrata no wo bo akire ede komrahye bedwam emo wo mo trase bobo hu ansa na emposa na mo no wo mo etu na nsem beto dwei ene enne se de bi mo akire mu se empo NPP press conference na wo mo eye no sebe na ento asum mfaso bia eniso enam so ama owura Abujinapo akire mu a de omo kan ye ne de ne kwan so ano no esanse ye wo Ghana ha yi a wo bete ne ase wo yi aba bewram ye te hanom ana empo no sebe enipa bonfo bi e de wo ma for san kofo aba Ghana hanom aba be ye neoma eni se wo mo eye enti ena wo mo kase ora Samuel akujeto ablakwa ensem no onfanko mrahye bedwam ne wo mo nyina mbobo hu wo mo gituma ansan na enkofo ekura no Ghana fonso age wo matum ene wo mo atena.
We are not, as a group, as a minority group, taking a definitive position on the merits or otherwise, or on whether or not government should get into this kind of arrangement with the United States. And indeed, it may as well be that if this matter was brought before Parliament and we saw the terms of this agreement, we may as well endorse it. We may as well support it.
Would that ever happen?
It's possible. Right. It's possible. It will all depend on the terms or the tenets of the agreement. Now, that said, I think some of the issues that are being raised require some consideration and careful examination, which is that if the United States, the other question somebody will ask you, if the United States did not have anywhere else to deport them to, and that if all African countries had said that, look, the policies, immigration policies of the United States have been long-standing, and that this particular one is draconian, and then this particular one is targeting blacks in particular, and that the modus operandi for rounding these people up and chaining them as though they were slaves and putting them on the plane, and whilst they are on the plane throughout the flight they are in chains and so on and so forth, are even treatments which are at variance with Pan-African spirit and so on and so forth, and therefore we will not associate ourselves with this kind of arrangement. It may get the administration to think twice. It may get the administration to re-examine the policy. But as I say, those are all matters which can be examined once the agreement is laid before Parliament. We are not as
now,
a group.
Was more and a national coordinator at the Mad District Road Improvement Program. It can be a friend of drip. Or young for Neil and T. Vanderpoy, so Akasa who be in what they say. So, Tiens and Samoa, MPP, you could no more cana. What you know, one Tiasi, San say. Sa, any paya, America minor, a pampa woman, a free Krumia, or my Ghana, yeji woman. I just say, beer. I say, pressure be, and I will be the my free America home. Nemo, or my Ghana. Sadia, you see a door a war. Na ayomye ewo man o mama bia emu no enuti e na yegyina so a yes adewe na wo hwe edipa dunan a wo madi kan kura awura wo man mu dada na e ben se aduanan kura de akire kura wo mo eba anye se bia obi na de pressure bi ana wo do hye bi to o man Ghana so se yenye wo mo a ye pampam free America nemum se beye ya wo do ebetimi atena ye ne abibima ahodo no nyina entemo en na gina so ntia but
the US government is still refusing to respect that judgment. You understand? So what is happening is not just those people should see it as an opportunity Ghana is giving them to be able to rather find a way of going back, resettling, or getting opportunity to fight back and get back to America.
Yeah.
That is their choice if they want to go back. But I don't think that this is to a way, as the minister said, there's no benefit attached to this. Ghana is not receiving any monetary or any other considerations in this. He explained it explicitly. He's saying this is purely a humanitarian gesture. And I want to see it as such. Now, coming to the issue of the minority, I'm happy that at the end of it, Elvis said, like, we must not politicize this.
Indeed.
Because this will affect other people. It doesn't matter whether the person is NDC or MPP. Anybody, any of our families, any of our friends, any of our neighbors in America could be affected by this. And you wouldn't know if you criticize today. So assuming tomorrow people are being deported, and amongst the people, Ghanaians and other citizens of West Africa, will you say that as the plane lands in Accra, we should pick the Ghanaians off the flight and then leave the others on the flight? That's a question
what will be the arrangement for this flight?
So you see, when people are being deported, there is no protocols when it comes to that. When people are being deported, there are no protocols. They are just picked up, packed onto a plane, and they are given a special card, not even your passport. You are given just a special card. Because some of the people are arrested at times when they don't even have access to their passports. And they are not even allowed to go back home to pick their passports. You understand?
Yeah.
If you are lucky to have your passport on you, so be it. And that is exactly what happened in this instant. The 40 people that the minister mentioned that they will be coming, I am sure that by the time that arrangement is effected, the memorandum of understanding will have matured into a protocol, an agreement of the sort, or any other arrangement that will necessitate the need for seeking parliamentary approval. So I think what the minority has done is what my very good senior brother Kwaku Baku will call premature ejaculation.
Hebusha yen free or Vanda Poy Honomo na yen cobra shibejum na ene parliamentary committee on energy. Edi na fuabia sa esi honomo one more ebo apro yenyina mahodi aso ye akodo no. And I'm so enti emma womu bepie mo ewo Ghana Grid Company ye twanitia se Gridco one more aso ye ewo tema. Na bra won bepie mu e wo kono mo e na won mo bon komo se yi edie wo hwe Ghana pa ye light ahodo no empo ahoma no ba bia efa no wo be ko high tension asepa galamse kura ye atu po ne kura e de atofom wo mo se sandioma wanyina e ha adwen ye wo sempanifo ehwe na wo mo etu ho anamon wo se wo be ko no na obi pa e ye ahoma yase e na empo no wakwakosi dan obi de odi container esi honom obi kura honom e na woda ene de ekoso omo kire mo ni nyina no hyabe bibia ni a edoyo ne kase e na ebebro ban Ghana pa enti e wo sempanifo won bo modie na sadie wo mo etu ho anamon se de beya da chi bi ne yen konko kase ye hunu ya anka.
and it invites near disaster because you know, as we talked about, the line right of way, you need to clear it so that when you need to do maintenance on the line, you can go there. Now, the right of way clearing becomes lucrative to galamseyers, and in a number of areas, our people go and see that overnight, people come and do their galamseying activities very close to our towers. Now, the towers, you see them as just steel members, but they are carrying a lot of forces and weights, and so the foundation is really calculated. In fact, they do a lot of studies on the ground to design. Every tower foundation is different depending on where it is, and I'm sure these galamseyers don't know, but as you encroach close to the lines, we are coming to the point where, in fact, there are some towers that we have had to rush in to do some intermediary reinforcements. Unfortunately, there are some areas that even when our maintenance teams are going, they get shot at, and some of them have had to run away. And so we are trying to see and leverage and get engaged, because those areas is getting to points where GRIDCO alone cannot manage. And so we need support from all the forces to be able to manage it. Thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, it's not now. It's not. I mean, and it's near disaster, because as we talked about, the line right of way, you need to clear it so that when you need to do maintenance on the line, you can go there. Now the right of way clearing becomes lucrative to galamseyers, and
Ghana Medical Trust Fund yɛto say Mahama Care photobia Mampani John Dramani Mahama abo ede ato wo se be ye betimi aboa apomuden ama ayeresa ene ayerehwe atimi akɔ nanim pa na committee ya wo mo eda saa foto ya no abontoa akyinkyini ewa ayeresa be ahodo ya wo mo hwehwe hawa ahodo a ekoso ewo hɔ no na wo mawuram ewo konfanochi apan ayeresa be ye wo Kumase Asante Mantemu ya wo mo kɔ hwehwe ne ma ahodo pa ya ewo hɔ no na abra wo mo ewuram hɔ no no na ohwe committee ya administrator edema wo mo eye awura obobia daako opoku wone nsamtwefo na ebo nkomo no woka se ohwe Mahama Care iba abana enye se bia eye foto a yabode ato keke nebum ba beboa se de be ya emfidie ahodo a yede eye adwuma wo ye resabia ahodo wo mayimu no yebetimi asakra sa emfidie mu nyina na ebie mu nso wo mo a eye specialist ahodo a omo ba aresabia be ye adwuma no yatumi ahwe omuye ama womo aka ho eno achi eba ne se bia se medical research bi ekoso a yebeyi foto yi yebeyi musika kakra e de aboa se be ya ni nyina ebetumi akonanim enti hia pa ese Mahama Care yi atumi abana wo wura mu ewo konfanoche aban ayresabia ne ma ahodo nso omuhuye no wode ne nyina eto nsantwofo anim sei
to work. And so it's a big challenge. That's why there was the need to build a new hospital. And after the hospital is commissioned, it's still sitting there. We are not able to use it for some reasons that are difficult to understand. And so if we're able to move to the new facility, it will solve the space challenge that we are facing. Something urgent has to be done. Investment is left to rot, which is not good for a country that is struggling to get resources.
If you look at the patient load, one radiotherapy machine, that is the linear accelerator, is not enough. We need a backup. That's an extra machine that can mop up the large number of patients we see over here in a day. So the need for radiotherapy in the country keeps going up, and we need machines to treat them.
It wasn't just listening to management, but it was also as we took a walk through the facility and looking at some of equipment that was installed 2005, there's some that was installed even in the 90s and all. Clearly, you know that it's about time that we did a retooling of our major teaching hospitals as well as the regional hospitals. If you look at those living with the cancers, especially as we visited the oncology department, you know that they really need help. And if you wake up in the morning and you hear the government is making moves to make interventions so far as cancer treatments are concerned, you should be a very happy person. The Ghana Medical Trust Fund can simply not start its work without doing a needs assessment. And we're happy we came, we saw, we will go and put our report together, and I'm sure that we'll start work immediately.
Space to work. And so it's a big challenge. That's why there was the need to build a new hospital. And after the hospital is commissioned, it's still sitting there. We are not able to use it for some reasons that are difficult to understand. And so if we're able to move to the new facility, it will solve the space challenge that we are facing, something urgent has to be done. Investment is left to rot, which is not good for a country that is struggling to get resources.
Yeah, called the Parent Teachers Association. Now you're trying to say PTA, and no, not a year. A church for any hour for one more and Kabomo equal. Schools are who no not a womb, titiro a year a buying schools no. Na do don't call a kufa done pencil a brought by ye, not PTA, I say a honor more, I say a new honor, and I'm so. And Magana addition more a PH remoa. Ye baby PTA a different honor mono, a man your ma bebre, and I touch him. And was schools are who no emu. And your mube here said ye best sign a day abba. And I'm so empty, ama a buying a wabe, and so the two just a beshe. Now a bomodia assign a day ababium. And ne, or when you're for her na idris you one, and now you're so for was Ghana, ye homosuya, and who and some so, and what dear to just say. Pity no what de babium. National banner war banner and conquest and nano dear bina. Pity a betty me abomodia juju to one near their money pabako. One fan conquer dear Bebusano was CK medical trap blocks, Nelso Becono, na any honum. School be dear crown ye better bus, yen churo pity and ingun crana, na aquaquay boachibidi. Was since a yahudo one more day ban, pity no, a beya corner papa, a beya crabeshe, a babbois, a manio cofana, a Dutch chef for any impo, our for in temu, one more to me ashemukena. Na bois and codanswa, Wamuko schools a hoodrono, and for so be I was a womunya, a wo pity and sono, womu enya.
PTAs are back. There is now an established norm of guidelines to facilitate and support the work of PTAs. So they are truly back. And for those of you who are familiar with socialization, you will come to accept that socialization is a shared responsibility, and particularly for young learners, a shared responsibility of parents and teachers. The child spends arguably some time at home, but spends significant hours in school, and therefore the responsibility is placed on both the parent and the teacher. So Ghanaian concept of socialization in every social group in Ghana is one that is to be shared, where parents support teachers and teachers support parents. For us, PTAs are to support improved learning outcomes and to provide for PTAs are back. There is now an established norm of guidelines to facilitate and support the work of PTAs. So they are truly back. And for those of you who are familiar with socialization, you will come to accept that socialization is a shared responsibility.
Yeah, call and some for emu. Public Utility Regulatory Commission. One more abo ATS from INSA. And sentam yeah ECG and Ghana Water Company Limited. Yeah, say 1%. One more eto ahodo a wɔn gye ne bosom no emu no na akɔwie sɛ mpanyinfo besi fam na wɔn akyerɛkyerɛ Ghana fo mu hie nti a ɛwɔ sɛ adwumako ahodo mmienu yi obia eto ne sika a wɔgye ne bosom bia emu na ɛna wɔn wura mu ɛwɔ kofodua ya na wɔn di saa adwuma yi abra wɔn ewura mu hɔ no PRC mpanyinfo afɛ ECG Gridco VRA ɛna afɛ Ghana Water emu mpanyinfo mu nyinaa ɛbɛhyia mu hɔ no a wɔn de stakeholders ahodoɔ ehyia ya na wɔn bɔ nkɔmɔ akyerɛ mu ye hianti a esese wo mutimi eto saa eto yi emu na abra wo mo ehia ye no na ya chintua ye a wo no na ye pani kwankyerefo ye a woda PRC stakeholders committee no ano wo de tudwa ye a wo kyerɛ sɛ ehia pa sɛ saa ebofoforo yi ebetumi abasan sɛ wo hwɛ sɛ de galamsey esi sensase sensuo no a ne nyinaa eyeka ahodo ye a ede ebrese adwumako ahodo nyina no achi mpanifo ahodo ye a womo eba bie enso chibre kyerɛkyerɛ mu ye hia pa ye wo se ECG se ye womo eto omo bom na fe Ghana Water nso ebetumi de kakra aka womo de no ɛho
di enya ama yensuo ni nyina ni apoto se wohwe regions a Ghana water ye adwuma almost all of them mienu pe ena galamsey ense nsuo no Ghana water se omo de gallon miensa of aduro ena na nsuo nani ansa na ya noma ena omo hia gallon du na sa gallon du no so omo di sika na eto apart from so omo hia gallon du no omo se hia adura na no ye din che de omo yusu sesei eno so ne boy ye din Ghana water for beba manim na omo akire mo sene galamsey no e affect omo ene dwetira omo hia se omo betimi di insuo papa aba mu fie.
When market leaders speak, they remind us of the burden that unreliable electricity places on perishable goods. When universities speak, they highlight how rising utility costs can affect research and student welfare. When MMDS speaks, they reflect the collective needs of communities across towns and villages. And when consumers speak, they give a human face to the challenges of affordability. Each of these voices is critical to the conversation today, which will help us shape how we craft a tariff framework that is fair, transparent, and sustainable.
Pollution has caused us that, as we speak, some of our intake dams and swamps are silted. We have to now spend money to go and desilt these swamps and dams. Nana, the same process has resulted into frequent breakdown of our pumps because Nana, the pumps were not meant to pump sandy water. The pumps were meant to just pump clear water for production. But today, with what is happening, Nana, we cannot continue like this. And so the pumps that were meant to last us some 15 years and some we could even stay on to about 20-25 years, we are having to replace them within 3 years.
Ye bisa for 61 pesos. 225% of their ECG, about ECG hono. Now what the total their obetua ofia about 26%. Into 26% and ye can wasem say ye can ofie their obetua and as a dream their obetua.
Edi enya ama yensuo ni nyina ni apoto se wohwe regions a Ghana water ye adwuma almost all of them mienu pe ena galamsey ense nsuo no Ghana water se omo de gallon miensa of aduro ena na nsuo nani ansa na ya noma eno mu hia gallon
Divine Redeemer Sisters Foundation, one more ene Goso, a development organization, and no a Roman, sorry, no one more Asia, a work Goso, a Chirimsia, ene a year Goso, Contraso, a Honomo, and a Jumadi, one more Ecocodino, one more Chiremua, one more do a money to form a share. May I be a good what it a year in grassing grass and a baby, a year poco, a warno. And kwa day ya ni yede wamo eye, wamo chire mwani ya kwa wanya mfia son. Na yede no edo koko, ube kono koko, wano kwa ate, uwia wasuwa sambo. Na wahata edi yako ama eye, koko krache ato ansana, awufwe ye timia jisike ye free enkwada yi ensem. Wasiye bi wano mokura na, nipa na nye ni ye muba. Wako bebi no wako fano, eno wadina babesi nenchai, ube hunu, na kuntu nyuma wadi yakoda yi eye se ya. Wasi chadi na yeye no etia Ghana mra child labor etia mra etia ne womo fatu womo so ene addition mo okon kodi nkomo etire womo enkoda no emfia womo dura wetimi ede womo akwafuo mu wasi akoda wafrasie afeba akode bayi ade suku ene wasa wode no ekọ ebia na bi enifie enti ubehia se wobeboa na so ne nyina mu no bomodi ase wode ne bewura suku mu ansa na wopon kra akaso bese na kwajame na so aba ne se yede enkoda gu wonom na nkontunyuma ene ena yede ne kokoko wo kira yede ne koyi rubber ene de keka ho no wo se eno no etia Ghana mra aban ensa so mu a obobo modia ne wadi esansa kwada no wada yema na ye wodia opie wiase dia aban edia Madam Rosemary Kwache wono na ebo modin a ogina Divine Redeemer Sisters Foundation na nemu wodi afoto ekoye ema awofo
Ode abofra no eye ejuma sebi ebro na modin so wo ebre kro a wo se kabofra no edetena school esuade ena ye friend child na enam se ye wo ahafo na ye ha ye nti edwumedi akese a ye dipa eye family nti awofo no bebre omodi omma ekọ efuom wo bra wo se ekomode mofra no ekọ school ema omo esua ade na nse education kakra saa koso enti ebinom atiase a bebre na enroll omma ewo school but ko yi ebinom nyanti ase yi nti omoda so de omoma no di omochi ekọ efuom but ye de ye wo education aso ye no ye tu anamo bebre efa mo awofo tisa no ye hie binom a tisa de NGO yi ana foundation ye yenso so ye sensitize omo the importance of education so say nyina ye hwa obetimi de bibia ahye wo bansa but oni entity ye ana school entity bia na betimi afri ne nsa but wo education ya obetimi ahweso yie ama bia enchirima kranso ababeto so we are educating them so we are benya the importance of education na pe omodi omoma no akosu na dia higher entity wa hapa aside say omodi omokwa efu enkola na kasa binom so I involve you omo wo galamsey activities and also ya dia di enya pa nti kakra ye buso ye mama friend education mo hunu say betimi enya ska no all right but se wonni adesua mu tie bia na entimi nya mfaso dia kase bia emma entimi nya is untimi cry hwaso yi so we are educating them and we are praying say letimi say mampenina all share free education emma especially omo cocoa growing areas and especially baby omututu galamsey ni nomania emma mofano omutumi nko school na mu jane ko yesa edumadin na omutumi ya no free education na entimi share mofano nkura na mu nkura so instead say omube just school na mu de ye eduma ebetumi afeti omu abrabo ni omu ahonde child labor ode abofra no eye ejuma sebi ebro na modin so wo ebre kro a wo se kabofra no edetena school esuade ena ye friend child labor na enam se ye wo ahafo na ye ha ye nti edwumedi akese a ye dipa eye family nti awofo no bebre omodi omma ekọ efuom wo bra wo say ekomode mofra no ekọ school ema omo esua ade na nse education kakra saa
Harishwa mafuto ayede ama awofo eno no fa ba ko school na ono so ontimi nsua homa eno ene ejapade obetimi ede chana obi a enje emfri ne nsam ebegina wo mo nsam so na yetwa ye ho ye ba ye do be ko ensafufo emu ye ba sisia
Abusia for ye mu bibia kwaba e de ba Pensan Company Limited so edmaku a wo Ghana ha wakofa eduro nwanwaso e de abadwa so a eduro no eye nwanwade akese eduro ni din ne Semens Vital Herbal Mixture and Capsule eduro na ne mra na de agan no udnam na ti agan a eduro yi e na mebe kanfo de amagana ni bia na se bibini bia se obenya bie na won so anonom na etimi aboa no sa ebro waso aye ka ho asemi Semens Vital Herbal Mixture ene ne capsules no eye adura ye aduma wontini mu eduro uyo bia sabi o mema sem eda fom tinkaja be man ntimi man mu so kra bema ni ntimi mpagya ne ho wo ye bema sabi wo ne obehyiam na sisia no waje mu a nso aduro ye kanfo de ama wo aduro ye duro a ebeboa ma wo ntini na timi asore agina so ebe ma moja de afusane wo bema no mu ama bema na timi asore agina so ye na watimi abo adwuma na ama o piafo obi bia sabi oni atenka so yo ba so ye bema wo hia aduro Semens Vital Herbal Mixture and Capsules anemna ne de agan ne bi kona koto binom watenka ayira na te kokra kona koto aduro ne bi nanom na obehu sabi aduro no esi ye adwuma sifa afei wo ye ne to nchen sabi obi wo hono ma fichikom o how pa kese pa so yo ba na wo kom fichire na se wo menses na ma ebeyi a aduro ebeboa wo eye Semens Vital Herbal Mixture kona koto aduro ne binom be ma wo fichiko no bibia ye kama de ama wo afei so wote yawo wo fichiko mu a aduro ebeboa wo eye Semens Vital Herbal Mixture and Capsules afei so obi won ma sabi wo akoja ne nan no na moja di akire wo ba na otisa de bia hu moja no tie ni ye pa se moja no ye gon bright red we no ka se bright red a en na se do betima abo ma moja ni nyina to atwa e de ama okra afei so obi so a sabi ne to ase twetwe no we ni kan se sciatica wo sciatica e do betima abo ama yawo ne twetwe na e wo ni nyina etima ati akokra no e ye agan Semens Vital Herbal Mixture and Capsules. Aduro no eye adwuma wo ntini mu. Na enuane no bi wo aduro wo mu a eboa pa. Ye fen nitric oxide. Say nitric oxide no unya eba oni padua ma enti bi emu asi enti na akantare. Ba bebiem ba be hu ntini mu ama ntini metuma da wo modua tuma de afusane. Usisi na ye wo neurotransmitters a sonifree adwen no ho na eba eno na se obi te yawa na se okọ pains bi mu a na sa neurotransmitter no etimi aba beboa ama pain na se yaw no etimi akofom edrei ewo nyane no bi wo mu a etimi release neurotransmitter ye fe no endorphin na sa endorphin ne ba se usisi na yaw yaw na wote no ewo usisi mu no edrei eba be stop ni nyina yisu dopamine na be yi yaw ni nyina firi ho ko e de amount enti so sisi yo ya edure wo so nom ya agan Semens Vital Herbal Mixture and Capsules edure age award yenim de ye ka ho asem no 2022 best waist pain product of the year 2023 edure age award efasisi ya de ho 2024 ye sa hwe ni musa afie di anyim nyina so ye be sa age award no wo ye bema na wo pese unyina so no gina so peme wabla obenu maduro no sima kakra bi ati a fe number no a egu screen ase no o fe number na ye be no be kasa kama ni ato se do be sia no maduro no na emi na atumi aboa ama bibia ye kama ma o afa so ba bia be nya bia to no ye di egu screen so na mom tie ni ye pa se wo kuma se ene ne pattern wo store wo person to be ton a ba bia e di kan PFA pharmacy New Road Junction wana PFA pharmacy o stock kese a obenya brand atu honum akwakoton afi Colinac ewo Ashtown oni Dani Herbal omunyina wa Ashtown ko ho Fredimens eso okay ono so be ma obi ato afi so Sambora ewo Cadetia Gate 3 no opposite pe edron edra e ba beboa eyi sa ho hawo nyina afi wa kwa ma o enti pe bi achi kwan to agan a etrese ejan no pebito na enkotote e ma na so nya wa ho den pepepe e da ma
Chama yana wase se wajibra twen yen irekase no ekọ abahodo so ensem emu kane French mampani Nicolas Sarkozy papa yi yedna gina emra no ama court ahye ne se wonkonkodam mfie num na ne bone a woye yi ene se abra na wopre se obabeye mampani wa fimpinu ene ensom meche 2007 no woje sika bi edi free kane Libya mampani Muammar Gaddafi ehwono na sansensemi epeja ne mu free 2005 adikosi 2007 mu papa yi omo bono a omo kan bia wose dabi ntesa omo kan bia wose dabi entesa 2005 mu na court no ekire se wo sha se wo gisesa saatem na wo ye interior minister edema France man no ya wo ye na adwene se wo ba be premier mpani akonwa no sika na wo de be ye campaign no Muammar Gaddafi hon mu no kokwaje se sika na wo sha ne bo se wo no so be boa no ama watumi akasa na no adurubom mu ewo mpenifu ahodo ewo Europe anim sanse sika wo de ama no wo de wo be boa pa ama no so atumi de ne campaign saa semi ho eno ma wonu a eneyi court akọ asetan yese openi won konkodam sanse na de a wo ye no e krono na wo boy ya tanse de bo no bi ni se wasan bo ntrim se wo be bo krono ahodo ewo sikasem ehu ni nyina eka ho bi eno openi ya se ne se mfienum wonko enkodam
Hewsia yenko enije ensem emu Reverend Daniel Anan wono ebano se empanatwe aware mu nsam dia ene wonu depa wa ye councilor so eka ho ene ho de ye abo enkobo na enkomo yi mu na ode atodwa se eye na ebimu ebu mema busubuo se o meneno ya hihya ware ye na afeyi de obehuane se otwafa ho obi nso ho no mabon so wo se o mekunu mene nete na so sese no obi a yafa no sha bawa wo fie ho no mekire maid wono na fade ye nani di nachi me kura me ye na yere a wate sika ware me no wo nhwe me baabi a mete kura eno na wo kire mu se ebi mu wono mo se o mema wo mo di wo mani behunu na etwetwe wo mo ma wo mo koye sa wo se ebi wo ho no mo so a oba na wanya adwuma obi wo ho no mo a sanse yafa maid wo fie ho no mo ntino ye be ye duane wo se maid nkonkoye yensi nuomo a maid yenko na empakura woni ni kunu daso yenkonko se wose o maid ni beba be ye ne kama na ni nyina nso no woto mpa no na kai hunu se woni ho no mo so beto mpa na wasan atompa de aka ho enti wotototo mpa yi a na chese be ma ni hu ne se sebe wono na wotimi eboa no wono na obetimi aka ne nsema kire no esanse emani bi wo ho no mo aware wo madwuma anopa enwumre ne anadwo nyina no wote adwuma mu enti maid ni na ye bibia wo fie ho no enkoda wo madidie ene wo mo na ye mu nyina no maid no na eye eba ne sanso be ma ne hunu ne se uni adaje de ma no maid no na huhia se obetimi ene na hyehye wo no nkakra enti ebi wo no mokura na oti aware na sube una ne se yesum ku achi se ko ma me fie esanse wadwuma enso ani na foto nyina ne se yenya saade no obi wo no ma obeye maid a ma ne hunu se na dwuma enie na so se fie wo no madwuma nyina obegyade ahye ne nsa obi wo no mokura na ne kunu pieto wo se maid ensi ose ni nyina no enya dia eboa ni nyina ka ho na waregyaye ene awareseye dodo no aba ewo oman Ghana emu harishima mwa na yebegyina councilor ni samu eso na ene enwumre ya wada ensema yebobo anu nyina no yediesi ewa hanom sei asidan confirm ma enagard Eden Hills Victory Garlic ene enwumako ahodobia enwumre wo mo apo ye chidom ya yeje bre na yede ensamu ebre wo eyeme na nekua atweba ata mene
ama hene Kofi Asempa busema na wase na yemamu enehwe